Hi everyone, and welcome to day one of the 100-day video challenge. We're starting off with quite a quiet day. As you can see, I'm in my home office today. I've got lots of marking to do of student assignments, so at the moment I'm very much in the headspace of assessment. And when I'm marking assignments, I like to kind of hide myself away a little bit and just really focus on what I'm doing. I tend to think of assessment, and particularly marking students' written work, as being, I guess, like a form of mentorship in a sense. So I try and imagine that I'm sitting down with each student and really taking the time to listen to what they're saying to me, to their articulation of concepts and ideas and a narrative, and really look for opportunities to give them feedback that they can use to their own best advantage going forward, ideas and suggestions that they can actually apply to their future work. So I think all assessment really should be formative in that sense, even if it's being used in a summative way to assess learning. There's always something you can contribute that will be useful to the learner going forward. I find that when I think of it that way, it's actually much more interesting for me as the marker to think of it as being kind of a one-to-one engagement. I know a lot of people, and I can certainly relate to it, find marking to be quite tedious, especially when you've got a big stack of papers to get through. But when you think of it as a form of mentoring, then I find anyway that it gets much more interesting and much more engaging for me as the assessor. I always see assessment as being a form of teaching, so that opens up a whole new dimension of engagement for me. I'm not saying that it's never tedious for me. It can be sometimes, but I usually try to get myself into the mindset of mentorship, and to do that, it's often easier to find somewhere quiet to sit down and really get your head into that space. And just by way of a kind of a technology tip, what I like to use for marking written work is, well, I tend to use my iPad for one thing, and Apple Pencil. And in terms of an app that I really like to use, I use Notability, so I can actually upload the student's work as a PDF into Notability, and then I can use the pencil to annotate it with my thoughts and notes, and just make little scribbles about the main points of the feedback that I want to give the student. And Notability also has a record feature as well, so I can record while I'm doing that and kind of verbalize my thoughts as I'm going along. So that's just a tip for those of you that like to use digital tools for their education work. So that's going to be my afternoon really. The rest of my day is going to be marking assessments. I'm marking one of the modules for our postgraduate certificate in university learning and teaching. I teach 2 modules of the certificate program, evaluating education and approaches to teaching, and both of those have kind of coincided in terms of the submission deadlines for student work. So I've got that marking to do. And also students on our master's program in, again, university learning and teaching. So I've got 3 master's dissertations to read and mark and give feedback on over the next week or so. So I'm actually really enjoying it. I really do enjoy engaging with students' work, as I say. So that's pretty much it for me today. I'll look forward to hopefully giving you another video tomorrow.